industry. So already here, we have all come together in one place where we are able to benefit, to see what new technologies they have, what they are showcasing, the new equipment, what's the latest on the market, and through the discussions and interactions we are having with them, we are already able to see that they are capable of providing solutions to some of the challenges that we face as a country.
And as a country doing it on its own, or some of the companies that are here exhibiting here as contractors working on our dams? Do we even have the capacity right now as a country to generate our own power without using very many contractors and companies from abroad?
Yes, thank you very much. And when you talk about power or electricity and water storage and power generation, we always talk about what we call the nexus between water and energy. And if you're talking about hydropower, it means you're utilizing the resource of water to produce electricity. Usually this comes with making it unavailable for some other users. But as UGCL, first of all, we are making sure that we are efficiently utilizing the resource. We are not working alone in this regard. We are working with the Ministry of Water and Environment, and specifically with the Department of Water Resources, to make sure that they allocate us a specific amount of water, enough to produce electricity to match the country electricity demands. That is one. But coming back to now being able to have the capacity to do that on our own, we realize that yes, here we have consultants, we have contractors, but over time, UGCL in particular is growing capacity to be able to carry out some of these activities that the consultants are doing for us. So we expect that in the interim or in the near future, UGCL will be in position at least to take on some of these projects, at least from the starting point of doing the feasibility studies to understand what are the electricity needs. Do we have projects ready for new dams, for new power production? And that we are able to do at the moment. But we want to grow big. We want to go big and look at the bigger infrastructure, the bigger power dams that are destined to come up in the near future.
Now that we are talking about dams, I don't think we can skip the issue of the number of dams that we have right now in the country, where we are generating, and what capacity are we generating right now. Because I know one of the dams is not yet open for generation, and that is Karuma. And maybe you'll also tell us briefly why we don't have Karuma generating power right now.
First of all, we have a number of big dams in the country. We know the famous Nalubare and Chira. Then we have the Bujagari, 250 megawatts. We have Visimba, which is run and operated by UGCL, 183 megawatts. And now that brings us to the mega one, the 600 megawatt Karuma hydropower plant, which is nearly ready to take away power from it. But currently, as I speak, already some units of Karuma, 3 in number, are already producing power. But the biggest challenge that we face at the moment, and we cannot evacuate all the power from Karuma yet, is due to the challenge we faced on the power lines being vandalized. So as much as the power is ready to be evacuated from Karuma, the power lines are just being refurbished or put back together, having been vandalized by I think that was a while ago, a few months back. But we believe that once they are ready, the entire 600 megawatts will also be able to be evacuated as soon as possible.
You know, on very many occasions, Ugandans are normally asking themselves why we sometimes say that we have enough power, but there is no power in very many places, and the tariffs are very high. Yet we keep telling Ugandans that we are producing enough and even giving some to some other countries. Why is it like that?
Yes, at the moment, and you're very right, we are producing a lot of power to the extent that we are exporting some of it. But the biggest challenge right now in the country is related to access. That means that we have the power, but it's not distributed to every potential consumer. And that comes to our capacity to distribute or to transmit to wherever it is needed. And I know our sister agencies, UTCL, UDCL, are doing a great job in trying to extend the power lines to the different areas where we have customers in Uganda. And we believe that once those power lines reach those potential places, then we will be able to have the power available to everyone. At that stage, perhaps we will be able to even consume what we believe is in excess of our production right now. But we have enough power as a country, but we are also cognizant of the growing industrial space, and that calls for more power production. Currently, you've heard of the President's initiative of let's have more power, let's have 52,000 megawatts available as a capacity as a country, because we are growing as Uganda, industrial-wise. So all these industries that are coming up will need more power and they will need to be evacuated. So as UGCL, it's our mandate to plan for this and to make sure that whenever power is needed, it's made available.
Yeah, we are still here with Dr. Muzafaru Kayondo from the Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited, and we are at the 4th International Conference and Exhibition on Water Storage and Hydropower Development for Africa. So everyone who is here, all the delegates are here discussing and coming up with a number of experts like ideas and solutions to the issue of power in Africa. And before I let Dr. Kayondo go, maybe we have, ever since the event started, we have been having break-up sessions. What are they really discussing about, and what are these topics? Are they topics of interest to Uganda as a country, or they are just general topics that help everyone in the industry?
Yes,
and what are these topics that are being discussed by the experts?
Thank you very much. Right from the beginning, we've had a number of breakaway sessions, basically now focusing on the technical aspects of hydropower. We've had topics ranging from impact of climate change and how it would impact our hydropower. You all know very well that Uganda is heavily reliant on the Nile, which also relates to Lake Victoria. And we know that climate change impacts could adversely come in and affect this resource that we have. So there have been topics on how do we remedy such, how do we prepare, how do we create resilience in our power infrastructure systems to avoid such. But we've also talked we've had topics on the range of how do we finance for some of these new projects. Even projects of making sure that our systems are resilient need financing. So we've had opportunities and presentations from World Bank, from a technical perspective, from how do we gather funding for some of these projects, from the International Energy Agency on the research and innovations that are in the space related to climate change. But we've also gone ahead to look at best practices for operation and maintenance of hydropower plants. As UGCL, we know that we're already running power plants on our own, and it's good to, from time to time, to be exposed to some of the industrial-based practices. Beyond that, we've looked at now the actual challenges. For example, when we faced the floating islands at Nalubale, these have been discussed throughout this conference. How do we get the booms protect this? How are we able to predict when they're coming so that we prepare and avert some of these challenges that we face continuously? So these are just among the few topics that have been discussed in the sessions at this conference.
Okay, so as we end our interview, maybe what is our strength as Uganda when it comes to water storage and hydropower generation? What is that strength that we have always been telling people about, and what we are telling the delegates who are here? What is our strength, and maybe what do we need from them, and what do they need from us as a country?
First of all, I think Uganda is endowed with a number of water resources, from let's say the biggest lake in Africa, Lake Victoria, to the longest river, River Nile. And this basically provides us with the resource in terms of water and hydropower. And one of the strengths we have related to this conference is that we're a bigger player in terms of hydropower, both in the region and in the East African kind of space. So this strength is what Uganda needs to capitalize on to make sure that we become very efficient in our operation and maintenance of these facilities, to make sure that we fully exploit the available hydropower resource or potential of the country. And I believe once we've exhausted all that, we will be a leader in terms of hydropower production or generation, not only in the region, but in Africa as well. So this is one of the strengths we need to capitalize on as a takeaway from this.
Now, other than the conference and the exhibition, maybe these delegates going to move out and look at some of the dams that we have as a country, because I remember among the guests that we have are some guests that were here in the 1960s to construct in Arubali. So do we have any other activity that will happen other than this? Are they moving out to see our dams and provide expert advice?
Yes, like you already know, UGCL has been a player or partner in the exhibition, and we've been doing a lot of partnering with organizers to make sure that the participants in this conference get a full package of Uganda. So not only the exhibition and the conference, but also we are having what we call the study tours. So at this conference, several participants will get an opportunity to visit our hydropower plants, to go to Nalubale Chira, to go to Bujagali, to go to Isimba, to see what is there, but also to visit other areas of Uganda. Some of them are going to go to the Makshons, to go to look at the wildlife that exists there. And this is part of the entire conference. So we believe they will benefit a lot in that, and as the country as well.
Okay, thank you, UECGL. And we are happy that you are here to tell Ugandans about hydropower generation and water storage. And I know you people organized a very good event. It has been so successful. So we thank you on behalf of Ugandans. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still on the Government Citizen Interaction Center live stream, and you can still really follow us on UECGL Twitter. You can still get all the event as it is happening right here. So I thank you, Mr. Dr. Kayondo, for talking to these Ugandans. We shall continue engaging a very good number of Ugandans and other delegates from the different countries, and we shall be also talking to a number of contractors here. As I already told you, the aim of the 4th International Conference and Exhibition on Water Storage and Hydropower Development for Africa is to bring together a group of experts, policymakers, planners, civil societies, development partners, consultants. So, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure that you follow the conversation that is happening right here. We shall continue bringing you a number of experts both from Uganda and from many other countries, and we shall also bring a number of experts and contractors in the hydropower generation sector. So right here with us is another expert from the Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited, and he will be telling us a lot more about this event and how it will be of importance to the country. So, Mr. You are welcome. Maybe you can introduce yourself and what you do at UECGL.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I'm Engineer Wasike Frederick, and I'm a civil engineer. I work as a manager in charge of dam safety with Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited. Yeah, briefly, that's it.
So you are a manager in charge of dam safety.
Yes.
Now let's talk about safety.
Yes.
How secure and how safe is Uganda's water that we use to generate electricity?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. Now, as you all know, that dams are so important to our livelihood. And if I can give a brief background about dams, dams are not only used for electricity generation, they are used for a number of purposes. You can have dams that are for water supply, you can have dams for navigation, you can have dams for hydropower production. But dam safety is all about making those dams safe, because dams naturally have a risk to the population. There is a possibility of a dam failure, and once you have a failure of a dam, you can have catastrophic consequences, especially to people that live downstream of the dam. So the importance of dam safety, especially in our organization, is to make sure that the dams that we have in Uganda, especially the ones that we operate within UGCL, are operated well and in a safe manner.
So what you are trying to tell us is that ECGL has made sure that all these dams are safe for use for power generation, or for even these other...
For both power generation and also for the communities that are around these facilities. Now, it's not after the dam has been constructed that you ensure its safety. So this safety story starts from the way you do your design of the dams, the way you carry out construction, supervision. Then finally, when you commission this dam, you have to operate it and maintain it prudently to make sure that it continues giving you the purposes or the resources for which you constructed this dam for. Yes.
So as Uganda, we have that expertise to protect our dams and all these other water bodies that generate electricity. So what is new that we are really telling these other delegates from these other countries? Are there some innovations that you have come up with as ECGL that we are sharing with these other delegates, or we are only on the receiving end, getting expertise and policies from the other delegates?
It's either way. What I can say is that Uganda, as a country, we are still young when it comes to the field of dam engineering. We mostly have our large dams that are for hydropower production, and they are not also so many. We have roughly like 5 dams in Uganda, the large dams, and they are all doing hydropower generation. Now, there are countries that have been in this business for quite a longer time. And Uganda, now that we are starting on this journey of development, we are seeing more and more developers come in and want to construct dams for hydropower, for irrigation, and for so many other purposes that we talked about. So now the story of dam safety comes in handy. Now, the story of dam safety is not a one-man show. It involves lots of partners, because as discussed earlier, you have to look at issues of construction. Sometimes in these areas you may not have all the capacity in place, but this kind of setup brings us with so many players. Partner with us in Uganda or assist in some way or the other.
Okay, so we have been having some issues of, I think, is it a moving weed? There is that weed that has been disturbing many of our lakes, and at one time it even stopped electricity generation. Are these things that you keep monitoring as the ECGL, or sometimes they happen without your knowledge? Because I remember when that happened, the whole country was affected. Has it been sorted yet, or it is something that can always happen at all times?
It's unfortunately that was like an extreme occurrence. Before even that came, we used to have small islands floating, but the one of 2020, 14th April, was an eye-opener. It came in quantities that we had not anticipated. But since that event happened, we've sat down and devised ways of stopping such a reoccurrence. So there are measures that we put in place. Some of them are to do with surveillance. Some of them are to do with the way we operate our facility. We can find a way of diverting it before it causes such effects. But the long-term solutions are also being embarked on, and they will involve putting up a structure that will hold that kind of island from approaching our facilities, the dam facilities. So there have been a number of steps that have been taken. Some of them are operational in nature, others are more to do with surveillance, and the long-lasting solution will be putting up a barrier that will stop that from accessing our facilities. The good thing is that we have many of the exhibitors here are specialists in those barriers, and we are going to have quite lengthy discussions on that, and we shall also have site visits, I think, tomorrow, and we show them what our issues are.
Okay, ever since this event started, we have been hearing about you called as one of the main organizers, or I don't know, but what is UCOLD? Just tell us briefly about UCOLD and what it does.
Yes, Uganda Committee, UCOLD is a short, it's an abbreviation of Uganda Committee of Large Dams. It's a committee of volunteers that come together to share knowledge on dams and also build capacity on dams in the way we design them, in the way we operate them. But UCOLD is a committee that falls under the umbrella of ICOLD. We have the International Commission of International Commission on Large Dams. So that is like a global body. And then we have individual committees in different countries. So UCOLD works through those committees. And that's why we have Uganda Committee on Large Dams. So it works in collaboration with the International Committee on Large Dams. Now the International Committee of Large Dams is like a body that where all the professionals in the field of dams congregate. The issues that I've talked about of design, issues to do with environment, issues to do with construction, issues to do with dam safety, like I said, and so many other fields that relate to dams. So it's an international committee, but it works through the commission works through the national committees, and that's why we have the Uganda Committee on Large Dams. So it's relatively in its infancy stage, and right now we are getting a lot of interest from various players. We have people from the Water Resources Department, we have people from the field of hydropower, we have academicians, we have many players trying to join UCOLD so that we can tap into the ICOLD, the bigger body, where we can share knowledge on dams. Yes.
So, Mr. Frederick, as we conclude, where do you see Uganda in the next 5 years when it comes to hydropower generation and water storage?
Yes, I see us getting more dams on board, just in terms of hydropower production, and also dams for irrigation, dams for water usage. And so I'm seeing that we need to start this conversation of dam safety seriously, and also making dams safe in communities where these dams are being constructed.
And very many Ugandans are still crying that we have a very good number of dams that we boast about, but still the rates of electricity are still high. So do we think of maybe at one time when we get more dams, the cost will be down, or there is something that is technical that us as local Ugandans down here cannot understand?
Okay, there are so many technicalities when it comes to the cost of power generation, because there is a component of power generation, there is a component of distribution, and also a component of transmission. So that is all aggregated to make the tariff that people pay. But to cut a long story short, about hydropower is one of the cheapest sources of electricity that you can have. So you can pride yourself if you're doing more hydro, that you're really dealing into a source of power that is cheaper relative to the other sources of power. But also these days it's green energy. It has no devastating effects on the environment, so it's energy that is clean. Yes, so Ugandans should be proud that we are having that kind of energy in our generation mix.
So as you've heard from Mr. Frederick, he says that Ugandans should just be happy that we have one of the best energy sources in the country. And when it comes to the costs, as everyone keeps asking, everyone keeps complaining, you've heard from him about the many entities that are involved. There is transmission, there is generation, and very many other entities that are part of this electricity generation and distribution. So we are continuing with the session here at the 2023 Hydropower Conference and Exhibition. And we've heard from Mr. Frederick, and we thank you, Mr. Frederick, for sharing with us. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
We shall continue showing you a lot more from the stalls that we have here.
You need to go with this.
There is a lot that is being exhibited when you move around the different
You need to take some with you.
halls and stalls. You can see a lot. All these investors and contractors explaining what they really do right here.
Are you going for the field trip?
And today is the closing session. You will all remember that this session was officially opened by Honorable Nankabirwa, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development. So in a brief, we shall go for a short break and then we shall be back here later.
Water storage and hydropower development for Africa brings to light the nexus between water and energy. Water is needed to generate energy, while energy is needed to pump water.
Dam safety must be a top priority in the dam business. It is a fundamental condition of the sustainability and social acceptance of dams.
We have to think big. We have to develop all our endowments, especially the regional ones.
The government of Uganda attaches great importance to the provision of electricity services, which is considered as one of the key pillars for the socio-economic transformation of our country.
Uganda became a member of ICOD during the reign of Michael Rogers, the past president of ICOD. Michael, stand up for recognition.
Be to note that this conference will bring experts from all parts of the world to focus on issues of specific interest for Africa in the field of water storage and hydropower development.
So, as we continue with our discussion, right here we have one of the exhibitors, and is Mr. Adam Nyanda from Germany. The DSD Noel is a company from Germany, and he'll be telling us here mainly what they do, but briefly I understand it is what they do is hydromechanical, producing hydromechanical equipment.
Yes.
As he will be explaining. You are welcome, Mr. Adam. You can, of course, tell us your names properly and the company, and you tell us what it does and how you think this company is important when it comes to hydropower generation or water storage.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having the opportunity to explain what my company is doing. I am, first of all, Adam Nyanda. Nyanda is a very African name. I'm originally from Cameroon, but I went in Germany for more than 10 years now. I studied there, and after my study, I worked for several companies, and I came to this company, DSD Noel, and they are doing hydromechanical equipment. And that was very important for me to work there because I saw directly that they have a contact with Africa, and for me it's important to participate to the development of Africa as an African. So that was the right company for me. I started working there, and what we are doing, we are participating in building of hydropower dams, the hydromechanical parts of the dams. So we build, like for example, gates, radial gates, penstock, drive system. We also build movable bridges or for waterways, navigation locks. We also do gates for navigation locks in Germany. Yeah, that is what my company does.
So has DSD Noel had any contract in Uganda, or where have you been mainly constructing your dams and doing all that hydromechanical part of dam construction?
Yes, we have not been in Uganda for now, but we have been in several countries in World Africa. We have been, for example, in Egypt, where we built Naga Hamadi in Egypt. We have been in Nigeria, we have been in Cameroon, we have been in Ivory Coast, we have been in Gambia, we have been in several countries where we really bring our expertise, because we work from engineering, construction, manufacturing, and installation of our equipment. So there are many dams in Africa who are working with our equipment.
Yeah, ever since this event started, I'm very sure as DSD you have been part of the discussions that have been happening, and you have exhibited, and you have also moved around to see what other people are exhibiting. As a company, have you picked a leaf from some of these companies? Have you learned something? Or is the company, as the company, had some networking and connections on getting projects around Africa?
Yes, of course. First of all, I'm very proud of how the organizing committees have put things together to have this successful and great event. It's very big event. We are all satisfied. We are enjoying staying here in these beautiful countries. To work together with others company. no one can achieve anything alone, I think. So we all always need people and working with people and learning. When you stop learning, you you are no more growing. So we also have learned many things here. Technology is going very, very high, and so every time we have the occasion to learn something from others, we always take it. So of course we have a very big engineering in our company. We also develop new things in our company, and also have things to share with others in our domain, and yes, we are giving and receiving. That's it.
So, Adam, has this been your first time to be in Uganda, or I know you're African, but has this been your first time to be in Uganda, and have you moved around to see how far Uganda has come when it comes to power generation?
It's my first time, obviously, to be here in Uganda, and sometimes I think, why haven't we been here a long time ago? It's a very nice country. People here are very nice people, very often, and I really enjoy being here. Okay, we have worked. I was in Kampala, a very nice state. Where we are, Munyonyo is also very nice. The hotel is very, very nice. Yes, Africa have very big potential in hydro and other sectors, because when we speak of developing Africa, energy is something necessary for development, but we also have many things we can do. Africa is a very nice destination for investment, a very nice place to be, to live here. I think in Germany it's very cold. Sometimes it's very cold. I wish I could be in Africa. So I really enjoy being here. And I think I hear that Uganda have so many projects in development. And I hope that as an African, and also with our German technology, we can participate in helping Uganda to reach a very high level in hydropower generation.
Okay, our viewers, I continue thanking you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Adam here is a fellow African who just stays in Germany. He also took his expertise to Germany, and the Germans must be happy of this African gentleman, an engineer in hydromechanical equipment. So, ladies and gentlemen, we shall go for a short break, and then bring you very many other guests to tell you about this conference and exhibition. Thank you.
water storage and hydropower development for Africa brings to light the nexus between water and energy. Water is needed to generate energy, while energy is needed to pump water.
Dam safety must be a top priority in the dam business. It is a fundamental condition of the sustainability and social acceptance of dams.
We have to think big. We have to develop all our endowments, especially the regional ones.
The government of Uganda attaches great importance to the provision of electricity services, which is considered as one of the key pillars for the socio-economic transformation of our country.
Uganda became a member of ICOD during the reign of Michael Rogers.
Number of exhibitors here, and right now I have some lady right here. I think she is the first lady to come and tell us what they are really doing here. I don't really know whether she's an engineer, an architect, or just a delegate who came here to give her expertise to everyone else in the conference. So you are welcome, madam. You'll introduce yourself. Tell these people your name, and first you'll tell us about this company. This company called DA. The name is somehow very hard. We don't know whether it is an African name, a German name, but I'm very sure you'll be briefing us about all this. So you of course tell us why you are here as DA, what you have done here in Uganda,
Okay.
and some of the projects that you are really working on in Uganda.
Okay.
So you will start with the
My
introduction.
introductions, yes.
I don't really know whether my producer is ready on this. I don't know whether my producer is ready on this, but I think I'll need to first hear from our producer whether he's ready. In 1 minute, we have some glitch that is being sorted right here by the producer, but will be getting back on in a few. And I think for the rest of the Ugandans who are out here watching us and live streaming on UECGL Twitter, UEGCL Twitter, and these are guys that are doing the generation. These are the guys that are doing the generation in Uganda. This conference has been here for the last 2 days, and today is the third day when it will be officially closing, and it was officially being opened by the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Honorable Nankabirwa, who was here on Monday. And today we'll be having the official closure of this conference, and all these other delegates and exhibitors will be taken around Uganda to see what is happening in electricity and hydropower generation. So they are still here, and they will not be just touring our dams and seeing how far we have gone when it comes to hydropower generation, but they will also be enjoying the Pearl of Africa. They will be visiting a number of game parks. They will be visiting a number of tourism sites right here in Uganda. And surprisingly, one of the people, the supervisors who were here in the 1960s to supervise the construction of Naluvali Power Dam is right here in the country, and he was telling us how the 1960s were in Uganda. So he's very happy to be here in the country to share with all the other delegates about what has been happening. So right now, I think, let me get back to our guest. You introduce yourself as I told you earlier, and then you tell us this about
Thank
your
you,
company.
Michael. My name is Sophie Balunya. I work at DAR. DAR is actually Dar Al Handasa in full, rebranded to DAR. Dar Al Handasa actually stands for House of Engineering. DAR was founded in Jordan. Its first offices are in Lebanon. So DAR has about 5 design principal offices. We have a major office in Egypt. Then we have one in Amman. We have one in Beirut. We have one in Pune, and we have another in London. Those are our 5 major design offices. Then we also have about 49 plus area offices, and one of them is here in Kampala. Our offices are based, we are located at DFCU Towers on the 4th floor. Dar Al Handasa are engineering consultants. We do not have a construction arm, we're consultants, so we do design and supervision. We are top in terms of design firms. We're one of the top firms in the Middle East. I think if you're looking at the engineering records, we'll break that down, but just a little bit later. But we are multifaceted, so we will find us in the civic centers. We'll do airports, we'll do buildings, we'll do roads. Since we are the dam and hydro section, we also do dams. We are also in the power distribution and transmission. You name it. If it's under infrastructure and engineering, we're part of it. DAR is also the founder of DAR Group. So under DAR Group, we have a number of companies. If you look at our booth, DAR today is branded with DAR and Suyapi. Suyapi is one of the leading companies in dams and hydropower in Turkey. Their portfolio has about 200 projects in dams just all over the world. So DAR recently acquired Suyapi to help build that portfolio in hydropower. But we have a lot of projects also in transmission and distribution in Angola, in Nigeria, in Egypt, and we're trying to get a couple of projects in Uganda, and that's one of the reasons that we're here, in order to network and benefit and learn who is in the industry and also learn who is on ground in Uganda. Some of the projects that we've done, we are supervising the Entebbe airport renovations and the new works, the passenger terminal buildings. We've also done the runway, so we're the supervisors. I think when you pull up to the airport, you should be able to see the sign saying DAR at the airport. We are also supervising the Lira Apache Rapunya Road. So some of our clients are Civil Aviation Authority, Uganda National Road Authority, NSSF. We are designing the one-stop government complex where all the government agencies and parastatals who are renting are going to move to in a couple of years in Bwebaja. That's also a very large project. And we've done a few other projects. We've done the design reviews for the International Hospital, some small projects for KCA with the markets, and some work for Chery Motors. That's just some of the work that we've done in Uganda. So we've done a number, as you can see, airport roads, hospitals. So now we're at a dam conference, hydropower conference, so we're also in dams and power. That's basically what we do. And in a nutshell, that's what DAR is.
So DAR is a company that is multitasking and doing a lot of projects in Africa and all around the world.
Yes.
And as you've just said, when it comes to hydropower generation, you don't have any project right here in Uganda.
None in Uganda.
But you have very many other projects around the country. So I don't really know why. So in Uganda, you've been basically on these other projects, but you had not had any project when it comes to hydropower generation.
Well, I'll explain why. We've been in Uganda since 2017. and so we are trying to infiltrate the market. So the conference or the workshop has been a blessing in disguise because we just acquired Suyapi a few months ago, and the thing is dams. So we've been trying to get into the market, talk to UGCL. We've tried to get certain projects, and we're now reinforcing our portfolio by adding Suyapi onto the team. So by coming here, we're trying to see how we can actually get into the market and get certain projects on the ground. And I think one of the advantages is, and how we can contribute is, we have a very big task force with a lot of experts. We have about 7,000 employees in different countries. We already have our foot on the ground. So it means we're already learning how the country works. We have people who work for us who are also Ugandan on our different projects. And now that we've been here, at least we also now have contacts with UGCL. They know us a little bit better by interacting with us in the past few days. So I believe these interactions should be to our advantage. Hopefully we'll get some projects in the country.
Is there any bit of like local content when it comes to all the works that are being done by...
Yes, if you went to the airport, our architects, our electrical engineers, our surveyors are all local. Yes, so even in UNRWA, most of the times, about 90% of the staff is local. So we aim to get the people to work on the projects that we get should be local. Yes.
Yeah. So finally, Sophie, we just want all these Ugandans here to know where DAR is in Uganda.
Yes.
And how they can find it, whether a phone number, whether in contact, that any Uganda who is watching here can call to get you all information. Maybe there is a website where they
We
can
have a
go and
website.
read about
The website is dar.com, just dar.com. However, we are also located at DFCU Towers, 4th floor. Once you get to the 4th floor, you'll see the DAR signpost in lime green, as you can see it here. But you can also reach me if you need to reach us. You can reach me. My name is Sophie Balunywa, so our email addresses are as per our names. So it will be sophie.balunywa@dar.com. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Sophie, for coming here
and
Michael. Sharing with us here about the works of DAR. As you've all heard, DAR is a multinational because it has very many projects that it is doing all around the world. And as you've heard, they are doing engineering, they are doing a lot of stuff, and right now they just want to get to tap onto the hydropower generation in Uganda. Thank you, Sophie, for sharing with us. We will get back to you, our viewers, and hear from you.
Water storage and hydropower development for Africa brings to light the nexus between water and energy. Water is needed to generate energy, while energy is needed to pump water.
Dam safety must be a top priority in the dam business. It is a fundamental condition of the sustainability and social acceptance of dams.
We have to think big. We have to develop all our endowments, especially the regional ones.
Government of Uganda attaches great importance to the provision of electricity services, which is considered as one of the key pillars for the socio-economic transformation of our country.
Uganda became a member of ICOD during the reign of Michael Rogers, the past president of ICOD. Michael, stand up for recognition.
To note that this conference will bring experts from all parts of the world to focus on issues of specific interest for Africa in the field of water storage and hydropower development.
Welcome back to the Hydro Africa 2023 conference and exhibition, where we are having a very good number of over 500 delegates who are here to discuss water storage and hydropower generation. Uganda is happy to be hosting this event right here, and it is at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo. Here with me is one of the exhibitor from the Canadian Dam Association, as she will be telling us. She will introduce herself and tell us what the Canadian Dam Association is doing all around the world, whether it has any projects that it is working on in Uganda, and how important this exhibition helps it as a company, or Uganda, or even all the member countries that are here for the conference. You are welcome, Madam Lynn. I think you tell us the names of the company.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here at this conference. My name is Lynn Trahan. I'm the Executive Director for the Canadian Dam Association. A little bit about we call it CDA for short. The purpose of the CDA, their vision is to ensure that every dam is safe. And our mission is to provide education to support best practices and the safety of dams with that. We have a collaboration, a partnership with UCOLD, which is really important to the CDA. And we foster these collaborations just to further these discussions. Another purpose of the Canadian Dam Association is to provide best practices. We have technical bulletins that have these guidelines, anywhere from Dam Safety Review, Dam Safety 101, emergency management. We're even in with mining dams, and we have this all available to our members.
So do you have any projects that you are working on right here in Uganda or in Africa? And in how many countries are you as CDA?
So CDA is a national company. It's a not-for-profit company. It's in Canada. But we are globally, we're international. We have some partnerships all around the world, Uganda being one of them. We have a partnership with them. We have one with ICOLD, KCOLD. So our focus is really to provide the guidance, the educational dam safety component of it internationally. I'm not aware of any projects because we're not regulators, but we do provide supporting documentation, technical bulletins internationally.
And Lynn, has this been your first time to be in Uganda or in Africa? And what have you picked interest in while in this country?
It is my first time. And a couple of weeks ago at the ICOLD conference, we were fortunate enough to have this partnership with Uganda and ICOLD. And this is where we're attending this conference. And it's been such a wonderful experience, just the culture and learning all about the experience here and the way of life, and it's been truly an experience that I will never forget. It's been wonderful. The kindness that the people have shown me and the support and how welcoming. The food is just amazing. So for my first experience, it's been absolutely wonderful.
So you expect to come here more?
Absolutely, I will continue coming to these conferences.
Have you got like any chance to move around the country other than attending this event? Do you have a program of moving around? You tour Uganda, see what happens here?
No, I've been focusing on this conference and our booth and all the events that have been going on here. So I haven't had the opportunity to go visit Kampala or any other regions, but next time I will provide more time to experience that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Lynn,
you so much.
Our viewers, I'm here with Lynn from the Canadian Dam Association, and it is her first time to be in Uganda. She came for this conference, and she says that there is a lot that all the delegates are learning, and there is a lot new that all the delegates are seeing in this exhibition. So we shall be giving you more information, and we shall be bringing in here a very good number of delegates and exhibitors to tell you what their companies are doing. So I think this is the right time for me to let Lynn go and continue exhibiting. So to our producers, I think we will go into a short break and then come back later. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Okay, so
Take care.
happy with you.
Thank you. Yes.
water storage and hydropower development for Africa brings to light the nexus between water and energy. Water is needed to generate energy, while energy is needed to pump water.
Dam safety must be a top priority in the dam business. It is a fundamental condition of the sustainability and social acceptance of dams.
We have to think big. We have to develop all our endowments, especially the regional ones.
The government of Uganda attaches great importance to the provision of electricity services, which is considered as one of the key pillars for the socio-economic transformation of our country.
Uganda became a member of ICOD during the reign of Michael Rogers, the past president of ICOD. Michael, stand up for recognition.
Be to note that this conference will bring experts from all parts of the world to focus on issues of specific interest for Africa in the field of water storage and hydropower development.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Hydro Africa 2023 conference and exhibition, and right here is one of the exhibitors, Mr. Roland Mohari. Mr. Roland will tell us about the company or the agency that he's representing here in the exhibition, what they really do, and the works that they have had here in Africa. So you are welcome, Mr. Roland. We are live on the Government Citizen Interaction Center and UECGL live stream on Twitter. So we have very many people who are really watching us here at the Expo. And the reason that's why we are here, we just want to hear from you. You tell us more about your company and why you are here in Uganda for this conference and exhibition.
Michael, thank you. Thank you also for the opportunity to introduce myself, but for sure also the company. My name is Roland Moore. I am the managing director and shareholder of the company Moore, which is located in Germany. It was founded by my father in 1959. Our services and products are treasure cleaners and hydraulic steel structures for hydropower stations. This is our core business, but also for water and wastewater infrastructure projects, as well as for irrigation plants, pumping stations, and also for cooling water or extract of cooling water or extract of water for producing drinking water, potable water. We already had some projects here in Africa. One project is, for instance, in Zambia. It's a Kafue Dam. We had also a project Nachtigall in Cameroon, where we are already supplied machines. We have several projects in Egypt on the River Nile in hydropower station. This is all hydropower stations, but also for irrigation plants, and we are just supplying here again some machines. We have, for sure, we had what we are very proud. We had at the Bushagali hydropower stations already supplied 2 treasure cleaning machines in 2014, 2015, and the reason why we are here, we want to be there in Uganda and in this part of Africa, to show our face, to make our name famous, and to improve or bring our knowledge to here to improve the supply of electricity, renewable electricity, clean electricity made from hydropower. This is our target.
Yeah, Mr. Lowland, I have heard you talk about the trash machine or equipment.
Yeah.
What do they really do when it comes to hydropower generation? How do they help in power generation?
It's really simple, but very, very important. You know, you have a turbine for producing the electricity. But the turbine, if you have no protection in front, big debris, big logs can go in the turbine and damage the turbine completely. So in front of every turbine is a trash rack, so means a screen. And the screen, protecting the turbine, but it's also clocking, because if you have a screen, everyone or something in front, you know the debris is stopping here. And when you have a clocked trash rack completely clocked or only partly, then you have already high losses up to shut down the turbine. And to use and to maintain to use the whole water capacity for energy production, you have to clean this. And this trash rack we clean is our machine. So it means trash rack cleaning machine. And as we then provide always that you can use 100% of the water what you can use. We increase the efficiencies of the whole hydropower station in some places up to 30% after the treasure cleaning machine is installed and before they have one. So it's a really good thing, and you can use what you already invested. You can use more. This is the thing what we are doing
so
here.
For the viewer out here, should just know that this trash cleaning machine really helps in power generation, because it takes away all the trash and the dirt that can block the turbine. So it helps clean the water so that it's very fresh. As you know, we are talking about water storage and hydropower generation, and it is the reason that's why this company is here. Other than that, how have you found Uganda ever since you came here? Are you a first timer in Uganda, or you have been here several times?
No, I'm here really the first time. We already want to come in 2020, but you know this because of the ungood situation around the world, COVID situation. Now we are happy that we are here, and we had really here on this conference. It's met 100% or 110%, 150% my expectations. We had a lot of interest in our products and our machines. We had interesting talks, and around the world, and we are going to shows around the world. And normally, when you have such attention, then also projects are following. And we are really in a happy mood for the future here in Uganda.
So for the 3 days that you have been in Uganda, how have you found Uganda?
For sure, Uganda. As we already were here for with the Bushagali project. I was not personally here, but Company Moore was already here, and for us, Uganda was always on the focus. Only because of the time, the COVID time, the 2 years all around we lost. We are not already here also before, but Uganda is always on the focus, and everywhere you need energy for start development, because what every needs everyone electricity is needed, power is needed, to start development, to start production, to bring here also companies who are producing are here. This is all around electricity, what is in base needed. So, and where this need, we should be there, and Uganda for sure will be one of our targets in the future.
Okay, Uganda has at all times been a very welcoming country, very hospitable, and I think you have even felt our weather. We have a very good weather here, so I am very sure you have had a nice time for the 3 days that you've been here. Let me hope you as a company benefit from the conference and the exhibition. Because very many other Ugandans, I'm sure, have really benefited and heard from you and listened, especially the students that we have who are doing engineering. I have come and have learned from your exhibition stall. So we are very happy that you've been here to explain to us what has been happening and what is happening and what your company is doing here, Mr. Roland. Thank you for coming here and having an interview with us. Thank you. So our dear viewers, the sessions still continue here. We have break-up sessions that are happening in the halls up there, and right here we are in the exhibition hall. As you will see, they will take you around the exhibition stalls, and you see the different companies that are right here exhibiting and sharing expertise knowledge with many of our engineers and engineers from Africa. Remember, we have over 500 delegates who are here, and 50 countries are representing at this conference and exhibition, as we shall be showing you more and more and more, and as you will be hearing from a number of experts who will be telling you about water storage and hydropower generation and development on the African continent. So we will continue. We'll be bringing you more and more and more experts. And as I have heard from my producer, I am told we even have students who are studying engineering and are right here to learn from the experts. This is a very good opportunity for them to learn from these experts, go visit the different exhibition stalls and have that knowledge for them to use when they come into the employment world. So we shall be continuing, and in a few we will be having another exhibitor, another student who has come here to learn, another delegate from the very many different countries. As I've told you, that we have 50 countries and over 500 delegates that are here for this conference and exhibition. We will go for a short break, and then we'll be coming back later with someone else to share with us what they are achieving from this conference and exhibition 2023. I'll be back.
Water storage and hydropower development for Africa brings to light the nexus between water and energy. Water is needed to generate energy, while energy is needed to pump water.
Dam safety must be a top priority in the dam business. It is a fundamental condition of the sustainability and social acceptance of dams.
We have to think big. We have to develop all our endowments, especially the regional ones.
Good afternoon once again. We are here in the Government Citizen Interaction Center and the ECGL site, where we are showing you what is happening at the Hydro Africa Conference and Exhibition 2023. Everyone is here, and all the experts all around the world are here to share with many African countries about hydropower generation. And we have over 500 delegates from 50 countries that are here to share with you and show you how far we have gone. And as a host country, we are very happy that these other delegates are really benefiting from the expertise that we also have as Uganda and as Africa. And for the time that they are here, they'll be taken around the whole country to see how far we have gone when it comes to power generation, distribution, and water storage. Right here with me is someone who has come, and she's a delegate, but she's a delegate from Uganda in the names of Niwensima Rina. And Niwensima Rina will tell us why she's here, of what importance it is for her as her to come here, and what she really, her main interest in attending this conference. So you are welcome, Niwensima. You can maybe continue to tell us your names, pronounce them as they are, and tell us why you're here and why it is of importance for you as a student to be here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Michael. I'm by the names of Rina Niwensima, and I'm currently an electrical engineering student at Makerere University in my final year. I'm part of Makerere Engineering Society, and we were invited by UEGCL to come and have a great experience, with different companies from all over Africa and continent and the whole world. So it's my pleasure to be here, and it was a great experience given the fact that there were very many international companies, including ones in Uganda, and yeah, it was we've learned a lot. We've met very many people. We've networked with very many people, and yeah, we are grateful for the invite from.
Yeah, Rina, we are so grateful for the invite that you got from ECGL. But what have you learned for the days that you've been here? I'm sure there are 3 days. What have you learned from the breakup sessions and the topics, the different topics that all these experts have been really trying to discuss? What have you learned as you as a student, and where have you really picked the interest, where you can tell us that I have picked a lot of interest in this and I wish I could do it the way these people are doing?
Coming here, I only used to see a dam, and I'm like, okay, this is a nice structure. I see it's made of concrete. I really didn't know there is actually a lot that takes place during construction of dams. So personally, I've attended very many sessions, and yeah, I've come also here for the exhibitions, meeting different people from different companies, and I've learned a lot. I have learned a lot from the consultancy firms. I've learned a lot from very many engineering companies, especially the ones that do the dam safety. And I was also happy when I came. I do electrical engineering, but I caught my focus, like something that attracted me was something about the blackout that happened in April 2020, when our president was going to address the country. The blackout that happened. So it was triggering me. What happened? What exactly happened? What transpired that this blackout happened? Yeah, I didn't know. I had heard very many stories. I actually didn't know it was because of an island that had been
the
caused
floating
by
island.
the floating island. So yeah, it caught much attention, and I'm grateful to learn that there are very many companies that are manufacturing equipment to ensure that they can remove that island as fast as possible, so that power can be retained like sustainable energy can be supplied to the country within the minimum shortest time after interruption. Yes.
There are not very many females in this sector of maybe electrical, you said electrical engineering.
Yes, I'm doing electrical.
What has always been your motivation?
My motivation, I can say, from the beginning, I wanted to be a civil engineer. I saw, from my home area, I saw a civil engineer. He was constructing some road there, and it caught my attention. I was like, oh, this man, he was good looking. I was like, oh, what do these people like? I was like, what exactly do engineers do? So I was lucky that when I went to high school, I was able to pass those exams, the physics, chemistry, and math. And yeah, here I am doing electrical engineering, and I'm so grateful. But what caught my attention was I do not want to be the person seated in the office 24/7. I want to go outside there and explore. And at the same time, I want to, engineering is about providing solutions. So I am so much inclined on the side of providing solutions to different challenges.
So all our viewers, you see Rina here has a lot of interest in what she has studied, and she wants to be one of those powerful engineers, lady engineers in our country who are in the sector of electrical engineering. We are so happy that she's here. She has learned a lot. She has engaged with a number of consultants and experts, and she has attended almost all the sessions that are happening here at Speke Resort Munyonyo Hydropower 2023 conference and exhibition. Thank you for being here with us. To the viewers out there, I don't really know what you think when you look at this young, powerful engineer who thinks she'll be more powerful when she really graduates and goes out there in the employment world.
Yes,
thank you for being here with us. We shall continue with very many more experts, and we shall be taking you still around the exhibition. Thank you for watching us. Let's go for a short break.
Water storage and hydropower development for Africa brings to light the nexus between water and energy. Water is needed to generate energy, while energy is needed to pump water.
Dam safety must be a top priority in the dam business. It is a fundamental condition of the sustainability and social acceptance of dams.
We have to think big. We have to develop all our endowments, especially the regional ones.
The government of Uganda attaches great importance to the provision of electricity services, which is considered as one of the key pillars for the socio-economic transformation of our country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all who have been following us and watching us live from wherever you are. We are still here at the Commonwealth Resort Monyonyo, where the Hydro Africa 2023 conference and exhibition is happening. This is the third day, and the event will be concluding today, and all these other experts and delegates will be moving all around the country to see some of the dams that we have in the country, and they will be at leisure to visit any tourism site that they want, because many of them have really piqued a lot of interest in Uganda and Africa, and everyone here now can tell that Uganda is very safe for the tourists and for all these other people who are coming here. The hospitality that we have right here in our country, I think all the speakers have really thanked the government, and have appreciated the government of Uganda for doing all this it has done, because they have really enjoyed the culture, the people, and everything, and they have of course learned from also our experts here, and we have shared ideas in the different breakup sessions that have been happening. A number of topics have been discussed. So for you who followed us today, we shall be giving you more highlights about this event, even when it is done. And you will see all these delegates move around the country, touring the dams, touring the tourist sites, and we will be showing you and giving you more details. I thank you for spending all your time here watching us. I say good afternoon and have a nice day. Thank you for watching.
Water storage and hydropower development for Africa brings to light the nexus between water and energy. Water is needed to generate energy, while energy is needed to pump water.
Dam safety